Hi everyone, welcome to the Ever-Seeking Empath. I'm a reader who uses tarot, oracle, and charms, and today's reading is focused on the January predictions, so we're going to figure out how your year will begin. Before we get started, I do want to remind everybody that this is a general reading, so it might not resonate for everybody, so just take what messages resonate for your situation and disregard the rest. I would also like to request that if you enjoy this video, please like it and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already so that you can see when I've posted new content. It really does help the channel, and thank you to those of you who have already subscribed. Now we have 4 piles here today, so pile 1 is this penguin with a little baby penguin. Pile 2 is this seal, pretty sure it's a seal. Pile 3 is the blue walrus. And pile 4 is the polar bear with the baby polar bear. So just take a deep breath, let your intuition guide you to a pile. I'm going to put timestamps in the description and in the comments below, and we're going to get started right now with pile number 1. Hi pile 1. So if you chose the penguins for your little sticky note here, then this is your reading. So we are going to start with your tarot and oracle and then do your charms at the end. So let's figure out what's happening for you in January. For your tarot, you have the Star, which is a great way to start, the Chariot, and the Knight of Cups. So I feel like you've definitely got kind of a spark of hope that's maybe sparking you to move forward in January. I feel like this might have to do with something creative. You might be finally kind of leading with your heart, or this might have to do with love for some of you. But I want to see what your oracle cards have to say. So you have dragons, slay them all, number 6. So I feel like, yeah, you're definitely overcoming something right now. You might have been dealing with a really difficult time the past year, and now in January I feel like you've got some hope, you've got drive again. You're able to lead with your heart and move forward and conquer whatever obstacles are in your way. You have action, number 17, and I actually love this card because look at the Chariot here. We've got the same black and white horse here that are just moving forward. So yeah, you definitely are going to have some forward movement coming up. I feel like you're determined to make things work. Number 17 is also the Star, so there's another synchronicity there. So yeah, you definitely, I feel like you're feeling like maybe you know what direction to move in and you're ready to just move forward full force again. You have empowerment. So yeah, with this dragon slay them all card, you're definitely feeling empowered this month. I think you're finally ready to move forward. You're feeling a bit more powerful, like more motivated. I think you're trusting in yourself and in your own power again. And I think that's allowing you to move forward. You have gentle gardener, number 2. So you might have been kind of having a hard time this past year where you're feeling maybe like things aren't growing, and now maybe you haven't been pushing yourself too much to kind of make things grow faster than they need to. You've been a little more gentle, or you're finally learning that you need to kind of take a step back, allow things to grow at their own pace. And I think maybe now that you're allowing that to happen, things are starting to move forward more quickly. I think you're realizing that there's a time to move forward and just kind of take the reins and charge forward, and there are times to just take a step back. And I think you're finally able to kind of find that balance that you need to find for this. So that's awesome. You have breaking barriers. I am expanding beyond limitations into joy and freedom. So you have a lot of like garden kind of oriented imagery here. And I think you're finally able to overcome these obstacles with this breaking barriers. That's definitely like slaying your dragons. So I think whatever has been holding you back for this past year, whatever you feel like has kind of limited your progress or limited you from doing anything, I think you're going to find that those barriers are getting knocked down. Maybe you're finding the solutions to some problems that you've had, but overall, I think January you're going to be able to hit the ground running again. And then your self-care messages, you have number 13, connect with the earth. So yeah, more nature. So get out in nature, connect with the earth, go for a walk. Like put your feet in the dirt if you can, go, look at the trees, look at the stars, just do something outside. And then you have number 11, connect with crystals. So if you're into the metaphysical aspects of crystals, definitely use those, work with them, maybe charge them in the moonlight, find the crystals that have the purposes that you are like wanting to move forward. So if it's creativity, I think a lot of orange crystals have to do with that, with communication or spirituality. A lot of the blue and purple crystals have to do with that. So just maybe even do some research and figure out which ones are going to kind of aid you to achieve whatever goals you're setting out to achieve. And it does kind of tie into this connect with the earth card as well, because you see all these crystals around here. So even if you have to just kind of bring nature inside, especially if you're in the northern hemisphere, we're in winter, and if you're somewhere where it's cold right now, it's tough to really get outside and enjoy it as much if it's, if there's tons of snow or if it's like freezing cold, so I think just bringing things inside, so whether that's crystals or interesting rocks or, twigs, pine cones, just anything like that, just finding a way to integrate nature into your everyday life, I think that would really help you. So we're going to get your charms now for some more information, and we are using the heart to figure out kind of what's going to be in focus, what's at the heart of the situation for January. So group 1, some January predictions. How will your year begin? Okay, so it looks like nothing in particular is in focus right now. So maybe many of you are just having a bunch of different situations come up. So this could be like a bunch of different scenarios for you. So some of you it might have to do with love, some of you it might have to do with career, it could have to do with your personal life, your family, it could just be a variety, but we're going to get some info. So some charms here might resonate for you. So it looks like we have, I think that's it. Just 4 initials here for you. So we have the letters C, S, we have O, and we have M. So those could be significant initials for you or a loved one, somebody involved in your life right now. You have the word create. So for many of you, this is probably a creative project that you're getting off the ground. That Knight of Cups is very creative energy as well and leading from the heart. So many of you might have something creative going on, but I do think some of you have some romantic situation going on as well, or just something having to do with love, but I'll get to that in a second. You've got the number 5 here, so January 5th could be significant for you, so just maybe kind of keep that in mind on that date, see what happens. It could be like a birthday or something for some of you, or an anniversary. You have the word love here, so that's what's leading me to believe that this could have to do with romance, but you also have Pride and Prejudice. So yeah, maybe, sorry, this is not wanting to focus, but Pride and Prejudice, that could be a significant story for many of you, so maybe something just in there is resonating privately for some of you, but it could also just have to do with first impressions and giving somebody the benefit of the doubt, not making a judgment too quickly, so that might resonate for some of you. For your words, you have believe, you have smile, you have cool, and you have like. So those could resonate, but I do feel like that believe message is really popping out to me. So I feel like with that star card as well, believe that things can happen, that your dreams can come true. With like, smile, and cool, that's all just very positive energy. I just feel like things are going to start changing in a positive way for you, because we do have the ship's wheel here too, which has to do with change, and it also has to do with changing your direction, taking the power back and allowing yourself to take control over the direction that you want to move in. So I think many of you are maybe figuring out what direction you want to go, and you're able to move forward full force again. The shark here has to do with fears and allowing those fears to kind of limit you. So I think many of you are dismissing those fears, because with that slay your dragons, I feel like this year maybe you've been kind of stepping back because you've been worried about whatever obstacles you have to face, and now you're like, you know what, no, I want this badly enough, I'm going to face them. You've got a lot of confidence coming in because you do have the crown here. And with the ghost here too, something from the past might be kind of cropping up for you right now. There might be some kind of situation or like obstacles from the past that you thought you would overcome that are coming back around, or maybe a person from your past comes around to help you out or as an obstacle again. You have the yin and yang, so some of you could be dealing with some twin flame energy, but it also just has to do with merging the two sides of ourselves. So those complementary aspects, you know, not always the masculine and feminine, but I do believe the yin and the yang are the feminine and the masculine sides. So, you know, knowing when to be a little more passive, receptive to things happening, and then when to just go at it with gusto, you know, the more active force behind things. So just, I think you're finding that state of flow and balance, and you're maybe allowing things to shift and change as needed. You have the rabbit here, so that is a symbol of fertility. So you could be starting a new endeavor right now. This is a really great time for growth as well. But that also could mean literal fertility. So if some of you are wanting to conceive or something, have a baby, start a family, that could be something that's resonating for some of you. With this cat who's kind of stylish here, you might be starting to put your best foot forward. So maybe you've been holding back because you felt like you weren't good enough for a long time, and now you're, I think, kind of polishing up yourself, if that makes sense. So maybe you've like gotten some new clothes, or you've put together a really great outfit, or you've gotten a haircut, or you just are carrying yourself with more confidence, and that's allowing you to feel more confident in these situations as well. You have the flamingo, so that's another sign of balance and being in between kind of two worlds, and just allowing yourself to kind of like have one foot in each world, if that makes sense. So you might be in that kind of in-between state. Maybe you're changing a job and you're in that in-between state there. You could be shifting into like with a new person. You could be going out of one relationship and into a new one. You could just be at the end of an era in your life. I feel like many of you, that's really what this is you're at the end of an era and you've just kind of felt lost for a while because you don't really know how to get your bearings again. And I think this January you really are feeling much more confident in the direction you have to move in. So it makes me think of, you know, when you're bicycling, you have to keep moving in order to stay balanced, because the second that you stop, the balance gets thrown off and you start to tilt. So in order to keep that balance, you have to keep moving forward. So I feel like that's what many of you are trying to do this month. You've got a window of opportunity here, and I think you're also seeing things more clearly. So again, maybe getting some insights into what you feel like you're meant to do, or what direction you want to move in, what steps to take, that kind of thing. You have this butterfly here, so that is a symbol of transformation. So many of you have probably gone through a transformative process. I think many of you have been kind of enlightened this year as well, and you're able to put that enlightenment now into practice with the Buddha. And I think you're just remember to find your kind of sense of peace and tranquility as well, because I think that will also help you kind of stay balanced with that. I think gentle gardener card is what it was called. Just making sure that even though you're driving yourself forward, take that time to kind of take a step back. If you feel like you're starting to push up against a brick wall and nothing is happening, step back and allow things to just kind of unfold naturally. And then I think you'll know when to pick up the pace again and start pushing forward. And then you also have the gin bottle, which has to do with like vices. So many of you, maybe this is about New Year's resolutions, that you're trying to turn over a new leaf and give up maybe drinking or smoking, or just some kind of vice that you've had that you know it's a bad habit, or like a toxic behavior, or you're trying to let go of toxic people, but just some kind of thing that you've been trying to quit for a while but you keep turning back to. I think you're finally ready to move on from that. So that might resonate with many of you. So group 1, I hope that this resonates. I would love to hear if it does, so please leave me a comment below. If you enjoyed this, please like the video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I hope your January is fantastic, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching. Hi group 2. So if you chose the seal little sticky notes here, then this is your message. So we're going to start with your tarot and oracle and then do your charms at the end. So let's figure out how your year will begin. What predictions do we have for you for January? For your tarot, you have the Ten of Wands, Justice, and the Four of Swords. So I feel like you've definitely been overwhelmed, and I think the beginning of the year might be still like where you're carrying a lot of burdens, a lot of responsibility. You've got a lot of obligations right now. I think it's going to balance out, but I think it's definitely going to take some rest and restoration for you. I think you're going to have to make sure to take time to recharge, restore your energy, make sure you're not allowing yourself to completely burn out. I think that you've got some good karma coming back your way with that Justice card. You might also be trying to make some sort of fair decision, and you're having to kind of balance your head and your heart in order to make that decision. But I want to see what your oracle cards have to say. So you have Feather, think first before you judge, number 26. So yeah, that kind of goes with that Justice card. I think you've got maybe some sort of judgment to make, some sort of decision to make, and you have to make sure that you're thinking first and that you're kind of weighing the options as well, and weighing the pros and cons of everything. And then you have Sword, make the change, number 7. So many of you might be contemplating some kind of change in career or something else in your life. I just feel like some of you have something that you've been wanting to change something. You've been wanting to kind of make a big change. Like you've been maybe thinking about it for a long time, weighing those options, and now it's time to choose whatever this is. And I think this is encouraging you to make that change. You have Storm Warning, number 10. So yeah, I think this might be a difficult thing that you're wanting to do, and maybe that's why you've been holding back on making this decision, is because it's been something that you know it's going to be overwhelming. It might be something that could uproot your life, and you're trying to figure out whether or not to do that. So this might be like a career move or an actual move. You might be wanting to relocate, but I think just whatever this is going to be a major change. It's probably going to be difficult to get through, but I think you're leaning towards you want to do this even if it's difficult. But just know that storms pass also. You know, yes, it might be overwhelming and difficult to get through, but storms do pass. You have career. So yeah, for many of you, this is probably a career change that you're trying to achieve. So maybe you've been wanting to go back to school for something new, or you've finally figured out what you want to do and you're trying to figure out how to move forward with that. You might want to quit your job and move into like a new company. This might be a job that will require you to relocate, but maybe you have other people to think about. You've got, a family that you don't know if it's the best idea to move with them or something like that. But I feel like many of you, this could be a big career change. But I feel like overall, many of you are going to have some big changes regarding career this month. You have Strength, number 44. And I also love, you've got a lot of repeating numbers here. So you have the 4 of Swords and you have this 44. So that's 444. So you might be seeing that number a lot. And you also have 1010 because you have the 10 of Wands and the Storm Warning card, which is number 10. So just kind of be aware of those numbers. So those might be repeating for you. But with Strength, I feel like, yeah, it looks like you've been kind of carrying the weight of the world for a while, but I feel like you're actually feeling good because in doing that, you've had some growth come out of that because we've got this tree coming out here. And as much as this looks kind of difficult and painful to handle, look at how much she looks like she's blossoming. So I feel like, yeah, you've definitely been strong, and I think you know that you can get through this, whatever this change may be, but you do have to weigh the pros and cons, weigh those options, and make a decision. You have Exceeding Expectations. I soar into excellence. So yeah, maybe this job or career is something where you've got a huge amount of opportunities from this. Maybe right now you feel stuck and like you don't have a lot of opportunities for growth or promotions or something like that. And by doing this, this would be a way for you to really climb that corporate ladder or to really do something that feels much more fulfilling to you. But there's so many messages of growth here. And I know that it's probably going to be a difficult process because growth always is. But look, you've got the tree here, you've got the branches coming up here. And with this make the change, just know sometimes you have to cut away the dead, like the dead leaves, the dead branches in order to make room for new growth. So I think that might be what's been holding you back for a long time, is that you've had to do that. You have to make the choice to cut away what doesn't serve you any longer, and that is difficult, but clearing that away makes room for the new. You know, it allows that new stuff to flourish. And then for your self-care message, you have number 55, write a gratitude list. So maybe it would help to write what you're grateful for, what even like kind of a manifestation list as well is kind of what I'm getting. Like write down what you want to feel like in a new job, a new position, a new life. Just write down, you know, I'm so grateful to be in a job that leaves me feeling fulfilled, and how I can provide for my family and things like that. And just be grateful for things that you currently have, but also for what you're hoping to manifest. And I think that might help you feel motivated to make this change and to move in the best direction for you as well. But I want to see what your charms have to say for some more information. So we are going to use the heart to figure out kind of where your focus should be this month, what's in the heart of the situation for January. So group 2, January predictions. So yeah, how is your year going to begin? Okay, so you have quite a bit in the heart here. So I feel like many of you are getting some signs and synchronicities, or there's been some opportunity that's just like screamed at you and you just feel like, oh, I have to do that, because we've got this crowing rooster here, which to me is always something or somebody trying to get your attention loudly. Like it's kind of obnoxious about it. So you might be getting some signs about something and you just feel like, you know, maybe you've been holding back because you've been worried about how it's going to impact the people around you or how difficult this change is going to be, but that sign is there for a reason. You have the gymnast who's kind of doing like a back bend here. So being flexible is important, but also make sure that you're not just bending over backwards for other people while also neglecting yourself. That's usually what that means for me. The scarab here has to do with magic, and it's also a symbol of transformation. So just, you know, the clearing away of the old and turning kind of, you know, waste into something new, using that to create a new life. So I think that's what many of you are trying to do. New endeavors as well with the passport. So this, yeah, for many of you, this might require relocating. So just kind of keep that in mind, you know, weigh the pros and cons, figure out what all you need to do to achieve this. And then you have the starfish, so that's healing. So yeah, make sure you're recharging yourself. Make sure that you are taking time to heal, making sure that you're clearing away that dead stuff so that you have the ability to heal, because I feel like a lot of the time if you just put a band-aid over an open wound without like cleaning it first, even though cleaning that is going to be painful and difficult, you need that in order for that wound to heal properly, you know, because otherwise it can get infected and that kind of thing. So just make sure that you're cleaning away all of the dirt and dust and all of the crap that's not needed anymore so that you are able to heal and move into a new life. You have the number 12, so that could be significant for you. So maybe this December was significant for you in maybe making this decision or talking about it with somebody, but it could also mean that January 12th will be significant for you, so just maybe kind of mark that date down. You have faith, so just have faith in yourself, have faith in the universe, know that you're being guided, you're being helped, you have help around you if you need it. You do have an angel here as well, so I do think that you have some angelic protection, spirit guides around you right now. But there are many messages of just emotional healing. So maybe you've just been having a rough year and you feel like you need a change. So just know that maybe that's for a reason, you know, just keep that in mind. Think about what you need to do to feel whole and healed and fulfilled again. You've got some communication coming in this month with the bird. I think your fears have been holding you back for a long time, and maybe the uncertainty of how things are going to turn out is kind of holding you back. So just make sure that just don't make a decision based on what you don't know for the future. Like, you can weigh the pros and cons and weigh out all your options and make sure that you're going about it logically, but also don't allow that fear of the unknown to hold you back solely because you can't guarantee success. This bee is showing that you have been working hard. In order to move forward, you're going to have to do some hard work, but I think that you are willing and ready to do that as well. Because with the squirrel, that talks about hard work paying off as well and an investment paying off. So this might be something that you've been just toying with for a long time and you're not sure if it's going to pay off, or this might be something you've kind of invested in or hoped for a long time, and now this month you might be getting the payoff. And it is slow progress, but I think just allowing yourself to rest, go with the flow, and just try not to rush things. Because I think many of you might be the type that if you can't see like that success immediately, you just feel frustrated, and like if you can't see what's going to happen, there's no use in doing it. But I think, like with this basketball hoop, it makes me think of a slam dunk. So I feel like you're wanting a slam dunk on the first try, and that's not always how things are going to work out, but just trust in yourself because you have plenty. I think you're worried about not having enough, maybe not having enough money, or like worrying that you yourself are not enough to achieve this, but trust in yourself. You are able to do this. You just might have to clear away some stuff that doesn't serve you anymore, Make sure that you're transforming and that you're using all of the things that you've learned so far, and just clear away what you know that you don't need. Because I think many of you might just be hanging on to it out of habit, or because you're afraid to let go of what might happen if you let go. But just, think about monkey bars. You can't move forward if you're still hanging on to the last rung. You have to let go and swing forward, but you can't do that without letting go of the last one. And then you have these interlocking hearts here. So I think many of you might have somebody, like a relationship, a soulmate of some sort. It could be romantic or just a friend or family member who's willing to help you out. This might have to do with a relationship. Maybe some of you are needing to make a move or a career change because maybe you're in a long distance relationship and you're trying to figure out if it's going to work out. Should I take that leap of faith because I don't know if it's going to work? But just know you do have a lot of love around you. I'm not seeing any toxicity here, and obviously your situation's best, but just allow yourself to trust and have faith. And then you have the typewriter here. So this could be some kind of writing project that you're trying to do. Maybe some of you are wanting to do something having to do with writing, but for others of you, this could just mean, write down your ideas, write that gratitude list, write those pros and con lists, just make sure that you're writing things down, because sometimes that allows us to get more clarity than when we're just thinking things through. So yeah, I hope that this resonates for you, group 2. So just if it does resonate, please leave me a comment below. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I would love to hear how your month turns out. I hope you have an awesome January and an awesome rest of your day, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching. Hi, group 3. So if you chose the blue walrus sticky note for your reading, then this is your message. So I'm going to start with your tarot and oracle and then do your charms at the end. So let's figure out how your January is going to go. How will your year begin, group 3? So for your tarot, you have the Fool, the Emperor, and the Six of Cups. So yeah, I feel like you've got a new beginning here. That Fool is very much new beginnings energy, just taking a leap of faith, trusting that things will work out, just that initial excitement and enthusiasm. And I think that you're feeling in your power with that Emperor card. And I love that you have, so the Emperor card here is a walrus. You chose the blue walrus for your little pick a card item, and we also have the walrus here on my mug. So that's maybe walrus is one of your spirit animals, but if any of you know the spirit animal meaning for walrus, you could look it up and leave it in the comments below, because I would be very interested in hearing about that. But yeah, I think you might be kind of reminiscing on things or looking back on this past year on how far you've come, because I'm also getting the feeling that maybe you started 2020 kind of naive, kind of innocent, and now you're really feeling in your power and ready to move into the new year. But that Six of Cups is very like kind of past energy, so maybe just reminiscing, nostalgia, that kind of childlike joy and sense of wonder as well. So I think you're really having a good start of moving into the new year. And I think many of us also, when we're starting a new year, we're definitely looking back on the past one as well. So I feel like that's kind of the energy you're in. But I want to see what your oracle cards have to say. So you have Voyage. You already have all the answers, number 34. So yeah, I feel like maybe you kind of were taking a leap of faith even this time last year, and now you're trusting in yourself to do that, and you're realizing that you know what you want, you know which way to go, and you're not as led by fear anymore. I think you're realizing that you can trust in your own sovereignty over your life. You know yourself better than anybody else, and you're trusting in yourself to do what needs to be done. You have Door to Romance, number 33. So some of you might have some new romance coming your way. Maybe you're feeling confident about that. This could be someone from your past with that Six of Cups. You have Peace, and you also have Inspiration. So yeah, I think you're feeling pretty good right now. You're feeling peaceful. You're feeling maybe like things have been happening for a reason. I feel like you're starting to kind of connect the dots here, especially like on this Voyage card. She's got this map here, so I feel like maybe you're able to fill out more of your map here, that you've been so many places already that you know kind of which direction you need to move in, and you've gotten that kind of spark of inspiration again. And that inspiration card also makes me think of passion as well. With that Door to Romance, you could be starting on something new and passionate with somebody. You have Mountain, number 6. So yeah, I think I do want to get the book for this one because I really liked how they described this card, but it has to do with overcoming obstacles in a way that you're not trying to climb an impossible mountain or kind of chip away at it, but you're kind of flowing with it and around it. So that's number 6. All right, so it says you have the capacity to flow around any obstacle. This is the time to adapt. So yeah, adapting is really important. It says, sometimes you'll come across what appears to be an insurmountable obstacle, like a huge mountain that separates you from your success. You might think that climbing it or chiseling away at it is the answer, but why take such a treacherous, tedious approach? Be like the rivers that flow around mountains naturally. You'll move past this obstacle relatively quickly if you choose the easy way around. This is the time to adapt to your circumstances. If you do decide to climb, remember to take one step at a time, opting for the next right action. So yeah, I think just that kind of makes me think of the Fool energy as well, not just trying to climb the whole mountain at once, but just taking that first step into the unknown and just allowing yourself to adjust as things change, making sure that you're able to go with the flow. You have Giving Birth. I am bringing forth new and dynamic energy into the world. So yeah, this is a new start. This has to do with that inspiration as well. So maybe a new creative project. That Door to Romance also, like maybe some of you are wanting to like write a romance novel, or you're working with somebody and that's starting to spark some feelings, but I feel like there's a new situation in your life right now. And for some of you, this could be actual like fertility and birth. So you might be wanting to start a family or something, so that could resonate for some of you. And you also have Listening with Your Heart. I trust the messages I receive from my heart. So yeah, there's a lot of kind of watery like heart energy here that I think you know which direction you want to go, you know the way forward. Even if you can't see every step, you're just taking that first step because you know what direction you want to move in, and you can't see the whole way ahead, but you know what your goal is, and you just take that first step. And that's just very much what I feel like is going on right now, that you're trusting yourself to just move in the right direction and follow your heart, and you know kind of what you need to do, but you don't necessarily know every step, and you're okay with that. And then your self-care message is number 49, Spend Time with Friends. So yeah, that could also be that Door to Romance card as well, like that maybe you'll be spending some time with friends, and one of these friendships could turn into more. Or a friend could hook you up with somebody. But I feel like right now, just spending time with friends, kind of keeping your heart open and, staying open to love in many forms is going to be significant for many of you. With that Six of Cups, this could be some friends you haven't seen in a long time. Obviously, many of us have not been able to see friends that much for the past year or so. So many of you might be reuniting with people you haven't seen for the whole year, and now you're actually able to spend time with them, and that's kind of sparking your inspiration and your passion again, and you're wanting to move forward. So I think this is just a really great, like, excited start to the year. I'm feeling really good about this group 3, but I want to see what your charms have to say. So we're going to use the heart to figure out what's in the heart of the situation for January. Where do you need to kind of focus your attention or your energy for this month? So group 3, how will your year begin? right, so in the heart, we have the lone wolf kind of howling at the moon. So many of you might be kind of a lone wolf, or you might have just been a lone wolf for this past year. And so I feel like many of you have felt kind of lonely, but I think you're actually more okay with that than you would have been at the beginning of the year. You know, maybe you were worried about not being able to see people, that you've been worried about how lonely you'd feel or how isolated you would feel, but now you've grown from that, and I think you're ready to just open up to the people in your life again. So I think making sure that you also give yourself time to be alone as well, but just making sure that you're not isolating yourself away from people. That kind of hang with your friends, spend time with friends card is really popping out as well. So I think just making sure that you make time for the people in your life as well. So this lighthouse was under there as well. So yeah, I think some of you might have friends who have like guidance for you. You might be talking to your friends and they say something and it just sparks something in you that's like, yes, that's what I need to do. Or maybe they say something and you're like, whoa, I really like this person. I want to be with them. Something is sparked from some of these conversations with your friends. So just kind of be aware of that, be present with them, and just kind of keep an eye out for that. For your initials, you have the letter N, you have J, and you have G. So those could be significant letters for many of you. And I'm also seeing joining. So maybe you're the type of person who usually wouldn't join in if a group of friends goes to do something, or you wouldn't be the type to go to a party, or you maybe usually retreat. But this is, I think, encouraging you to join in, see what happens. Just, you might really enjoy yourself. You might meet some new people. I feel like there's definitely that kind of element of joining and getting involved with other people. You have beauty, so I feel like somebody out there finds you really attractive. I think you're seeing the beauty in yourself and in your life and in life in general. I feel like I'm just getting this energy of you've just opened your eyes and now you see clearly. So you've also got the spectacles, the glasses here. So yeah, seeing clearly is a big theme right now. And then time as well. So maybe giving things time, or maybe right now you're like, oh, it's time for this, whatever this new endeavor is, this new person. Maybe you just feel like it's time to kind of put yourself out there again. You've got the egg cup, so that has to do with just not letting difficult situations harden you to the world around you. So I think many of you are feeling pretty open, and maybe you started off the year with kind of feeling closed off to people, or you felt like you were going to kind of harden to the world around you, that because it was difficult you were just going to really solidify. And maybe some of you have, but now you're ready to open up to new situations again. You're kind of allowing yourself to soften, and you're listening with your heart over just your head. You have the mermaid back here that sometimes I kind of see as like a siren. So yeah, there's something or somebody very alluring in your life. Somebody might find you very mysterious and alluring, but it could also just have to do with attraction and not really knowing what's coming yet. You kind of have an inkling of something happening, but you don't know the whole picture. So that's what I was getting with that Fool card and everything as well, is something's coming and you don't know exactly how it's going to go, but you're maybe starting to be okay with that. You're realizing you don't have to know every single step. You're just ready to get in there. You have the saddle. So I feel like, yeah, with that 6 of Cups as well and the saddle, maybe this is an ex for some of you, or somebody who you had a crush on a long time ago, or someone who had a crush on you. Maybe this is a friend you had a falling out with and now you're getting back together and trying again, but just this energy of trying again and getting back in the saddle. You have Winnie the Pooh here in his kind of classic thinking pose. So yeah, I feel like maybe you've been thinking about this for a long time, or someone's thinking about how to approach you, but I feel like you know in your heart which way to go. You don't have to overthink and try to plan out every step. Just lead with your heart at this point, trust yourself to approach everything in the right way and to handle any obstacles as they come your way. You have the little bear here with the flower, and that's very much 6 of Cups energy for me as well. So yeah, I definitely think someone from your past is coming back around. So whether that's this romantic prospect or just a friend you haven't seen or that you had a falling out with, but there's a reconnection here that's definitely happening for many of you. You have the sand dollar here that often has to do with, when the tides are low, you can see all the shells and things that are on the beach again. And I feel like that's kind of emotionally what's happened, is maybe you felt lonely and low. And so you've been able to really look at everything more closely, like see what's under the surface a little bit. So I feel like that's kind of something that you've been through. And maybe this is just the little spark of something more under the surface that you feel for a friend of yours, or that they feel for you. But I feel like that's really coming through pretty strongly. The acorn has to do with a seed that can grow into something huge and solid. So yeah, definitely a very solid romantic relationship can grow from this, or just a really solid friendship. Maybe you weren't really that close with somebody in the past, and now you're really going to kind of solidify your bond together. You have the stag, which is very similar to emperor energy. So just being very grounded and secure and sure of yourself and confident in the way forward, and just kind of taking sovereignty over your own life, making those moves, being active and just moving forward in a very solid way. So I think this is encouraging you, even if you're leading with your heart, just be sure of yourself, keep moving forward. You know how to kind of be in your power and like solve any problem, basically. I feel like some of you might be doubting in yourselves ability to solve problems. And I think you've gone through so much, you've solved those problems up to this point, and now you've got all that extra experience. So trust in your future self to solve problems as well. You have the koi fish, which has to do with good luck. I feel like good luck's going to be swimming your way. Just know that there's abundance and just that kind of feeling of enoughness coming your way. So just don't doubt in your abilities. Don't doubt in what you have to offer somebody else. Know that you have plenty for other people. There's plenty to go around. That's also a phrase kind of running through my head. But yeah, I think maybe this has to do with like a class difference, because we have the top hat here, which often makes me think of like class differences, the working class versus like white collar, blue collar, that kind of thing. So I feel like maybe some of you feel not good enough for someone who's into you, or who you're into, or the reverse. Maybe they don't feel good enough for you, because there might be kind of a class disparity there. But just trust in yourself. Know that you are good enough, and that that's all surface level. It really doesn't matter as much at the core. And I think you have the capability to work through anything, and just follow what your heart is telling you, because it knows the way. So group 3, I hope that this resonates. I would love to hear if it does, so please leave me a comment below. If you enjoyed this, please like the video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I hope that you have an awesome January, and that the rest of your day is great, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching. Hi group 4, so if you chose the polar bear with the little baby polar bear on the sticky notes, then this is your message. So we're going to start with your tarot and oracle, and then do your charms at the end. So let's figure out your January predictions. How will your year begin? For your tarot, you have the Devil, 6 of Wands, and the Page of Swords. So many of you maybe are trying to quit some sort of toxic behavior. Maybe there's like an addiction that you've been trying to overcome for a long time, or you're just trying to be less dependent on other people, or you're trying to improve your relationship with food or exercise or something like that. But there's something that's been kind of binding you that I think you're going to have success over. And this might have been something that you've been working on for a long time, and success is now here. You're overcoming the worst of it. And with this Page of Swords, this just has to do with kind of learning as you go, being observant and curious, and just kind of having that open, like, beginner's mind towards everything. So I want to see what your oracle cards have to say. So you have Universe, we're all just stardust, number 31. So I think maybe you're feeling more connected to other people, and I feel like at this point you're open to what the universe has to offer you. Maybe that's why you're kind of surrendering whatever this toxic behavior is you're realizing, hey, maybe the universe has something better for me. Because notice how her hands here, she's allowing the kind of stars and stardust to fall into her hands. So I feel like maybe that's what's going on, is you've got your hands open to whatever is going to come your way. And I think you're opening yourself up to success by doing that. And you also have Feast, slow down and celebrate yourself, number 29. So yeah, I feel like just make sure that you're taking a break and that you're celebrating your little milestones, your little achievements, even if they don't seem that big to you so far, just make sure you're congratulating yourself. With that Six of Wands, that's about kind of being recognized for your achievements, celebration, just feeling that success and really kind of basking in that energy. So I think that might be something that you want to kind of focus your energy on this month. You have Man Holding a Heart, number 45. So some of you might be kind of opening up to love again, or you might be kind of wearing your heart on your sleeve a little more. You might have a man coming in, or this could be you, like willing to offer love to somebody. But overall, I just feel like maybe this has to do with someone who's usually not very open with their feelings and is finally opening up to that. You have Blessings. So yeah, this really goes with what I was saying with that Universe card, because notice she's also got her hands open and she's got all the stars and kind of stardust coming into her hands. So I feel like you really are opening yourself up to whatever blessings are coming to you this month. Maybe you're usually wanting to stay more in control of what's coming to you. Maybe that's what that Devil card is about, is kind of clinging to control in some form, and now you're finally surrendering and you're just allowing yourself to be open. That Man Holding a Heart also has to do with kind of openness of the heart. So maybe that's what's going on, is you're opening up to whatever comes. Yeah, you have Into the Unknown, number 7. So yeah, I think you're willingly putting on this blindfold and you're just ready to step into it. And we've got the rainbow in the background as well. So that, again, has to do with blessings. So I feel like you really are just going, you know what, maybe I don't know best. Maybe I'm just going to allow whatever is going to happen to come to me. I'm going to allow those blessings to fall into my lap. I'm not going to try to force things anymore. I'm ready for that. You have Cherishing Self. I accept and love myself. And look at how similar this is to the Feast, Slow Down and Celebrate Yourself. So yeah, really cherish yourself and notice how much balance there is between kind of healthy, like being healthy with the salad and stuff and like doing things that are really nurturing and nourishing for your body, and then indulging a little bit. We've got some sweets here. I think we have some wine over here, just doing things that make you feel good, and you can balance that healthy and like slightly unhealthy behaviors here, and just indulge in whatever way makes you feel good and makes you feel celebrated and just really appreciated. And then you also have Being in the Flow. I am in the flow of the universe. So again, just being in the flow of the universe, allowing the universe to bring blessings to you or to kind of direct you where you need to go. Maybe you've been really holding on to a situation, maybe even with a person that was not right for you, and now you're like, you know what, this is not working. I'm just going to see what's in store for me. And so you're allowing that to just kind of redirect you to where you need to be. And then your self-care message for this month is number 10, clear your energy field. And look at how much flow energy is here, because we've got this ribbon up here on the Six of Wands as well. So that really makes me think of like flow. And then we've got the flow in this Being in the Flow, and then we have the same kind of stream around her in clear your energy field. So yeah, just go with the flow, allowing that kind of negative, toxic energy to leave you alone. And maybe if you want to do like some smudging or some kind of ritual to clear your energy field, light a candle, just kind of set your intentions, maybe even take a shower and allow that negative energy to just kind of rain off of you. Just whatever kind of ritual you have to kind of clear away your energy field, get rid of that kind of stagnant energy. Even clean your space, declutter a little bit if you feel like it, and that might kind of help you open up to that new flow coming in as well. But I want to see what your charms have to say, so we're going to use the tray and the heart to figure out what's in the heart of the situation, to get some more information on like what maybe you need to focus on for January or what you have more control over. So group 4, how will your year begin? What are your January predictions? Okay, so in the heart here, we have Taurus. So you could be a Taurus, or someone you're dealing with could be a Taurus, but also on the back you have trustworthy. So I think this is also maybe about opening up to trust. Maybe you have a hard time trusting people because you've been hurt in the past, but this is really saying, whoever's in your life or coming into your life is trustworthy. know that you yourself are trustworthy. We've also got Cancer energy here, and we have Scorpio energy. So a lot of water signs, and then Taurus obviously is an earth sign, and the Scorpio on the back says passionate. So yeah, I feel like you're opening up to passion as well. Like maybe you're just allowing the right relationship to come into your life. That's really, for many of you, I feel like that's what it's about, is celebrating yourself and how far you've come away from some toxic relationships, toxic friendships, just situations where your love was not reciprocated or appreciated. And now you're moving into a period of time where you're allowing the right people in. You're opening up to love again. You're opening up to the right kind of energy, and you're allowing that to really come into your life again. Because we do have the interlocking hearts, so I feel like many of you either have somebody loving who's a soulmate around you, or you've got a soulmate coming in. You have the skull and crossbones, so that's definitely like letting go of toxic behavior, because we have the birdcage as well. So that's talking about freeing yourself from that toxicity, making sure that you clear away all those toxic behaviors, the toxic people, whatever does not serve you anymore, getting rid of that. We also have the broom. So yeah, cleaning up, sweeping away that old stagnant energy, possibly literally cleaning your space, making sure you give it a good like scrub down. That can really make you feel very free and energized again. You also have the hatchet. So yeah, or pickaxe or whatever this is, but just, yeah, chipping away at things that don't serve you anymore, cutting out what does not work for you. You have the sun and moon. So I feel like you've maybe been in situations where you feel like you can't have the light without the dark, and you have to put up with the toxic behaviors in order to allow those good behaviors to come in. Maybe you feel like, relationships don't come without toxic behaviors, but I think you're opening yourself up to a new idea now that you can have the best of those situations without the worst of them. I think you're moving into a time of peace, and maybe you're going to get like an apology this month. Someone might extend the olive branch to you, but you're definitely transforming. You've got the butterfly who's like kind of flying away, and this always makes me think of like when they first hatch from their chrysalis and they start flying away. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting, is that this is you kind of freshly emerged into your new life. You've got good luck coming to you. You've got the 4-leaf clover here, and you also have this cat. So I feel like some of you might be feeling a little bit impatient about when this is going to happen, because we've got this waiting cat who's kind of waiting patiently, and we also have the word when. So I feel like some of you are like, I've been waiting for this forever. I'm always the one waiting. I want to know when this is coming. When is this person coming in? And I think that's why it's redirecting you to cherishing yourself, celebrating your own achievements, and taking care of yourself, because that's really where your energy should go. Because the more you invest in yourself, the more you kind of build yourself up, and you attract in those people who are going to also cherish you and appreciate you. We also have always here. So yeah, that makes me think that you're always the one who's, having to wait for someone, or who's stuck in these toxic situations. But this was right next to the key too. So I think this is just making me think you always have a solution. You always have a way out. You've got the key right in front of you. So just know that you can trust in yourself, and you can move forward again. You are beautiful. You are like an incredible person. You are worthy of having a love that sees all of that in you, because I feel like you've felt very unappreciated in the past. And this makes me think that someone is coming in who's going to see all of that very unique beauty in you, and they're going to appreciate it. And you also have number 27 here. So this just might be an important date in January. It might be a significant number or date for you personally, but overall, that's a date to kind of take note of. Make sure that you're kind of aware of that, because that might be significant for many of you. But I feel like just make sure that you're not rushing this situation, whatever it is. Just be open to it and allow the blessings to come in, because I feel like there's probably going to be a lot of blessings coming in before whoever this person is comes in. And I think that's going to kind of build up your energy, and it's going to help you kind of clear away what doesn't serve you, and you're going to keep inviting in better and better and better. And then I think whoever this person is going to come in and be a bit of a shock. So whether that's someone that you know already and you're shocked that you have this kind of a relationship with them, or if it's going to be someone that you literally bump into out in public or something like that. But I just feel like, try not to just sit and wait, by the window hoping that someone comes in, but just use that time to invest in yourself, because you are going to have these blessings coming to you, but you also have to show yourself that you're worthy of them as well. So group 4, I hope that this resonates. I would love to hear if it does, so please leave me a comment below. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to my channel so that you can see when I've posted new content. I hope you have an awesome January, and I hope that the rest of your day is fantastic, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching.